First tonight, ABC News can reveal that children in state care as young as 10 have been sexually and physically abused by other children. Details of the abuse and neglect surfaced in a Victorian court during a hearing over whether two siblings should be returned to their mother or left in the care of the Department of Human Services. Dan Oakes has been following the case, which raises serious questions about Victoria's child protection system.
Today, the ABC's been given rare permission to broadcast details of this case, which has revealed a shocking failure to protect children in care and an alleged failure by the department to act when warned of the abuse. And a note, the names and voices of people in this story have been changed to protect their identity.
John and his son David are learning how to live together again. Just last month, John was awarded custody of his son, who had spent 18 months in a notorious resi care unit in outer Melbourne. He is scathing of the so-called care his son received from the Department of Human Services and holds them responsible for leaving his son in a facility where they knew abuse was occurring.
Incompetent, negligent, very disgusting the way they've handled this case and many other cases that I'm aware of.
Over the past month, a disturbing picture of regular sexual and physical abuse in a number of residential care units has emerged in court, as a mother seeks the return of her two children from the department. John's son was physically abused in the same resi care unit as the woman's daughter, where child-on-child sexual abuse was common.
I found out that an older boy than my son was, to coin a phrase very, very loosely, having sexual relations with children younger than him, children of 7 years old, and forcing these children to do perverse sexual acts on this boy.
The brother and sister at the centre of the court case were both aged under 10 when they were taken from their mother in October 2011 after an allegation that she physically assaulted them. They were eventually placed into separate resi care units. Both were allegedly raped by older children whilst in care and watched the physical and sexual abuse of other children. Department staff and carers failed to pass on information about the abuse to police, psychologists and the parents.
In the case of the young girl, one carer described how they'd asked the department to protect her after staff found a boy 6 years older trying to sexually assault her in his room. The girl had been in the house for less than 12 hours when that happened. The department refused to move her attacker and the abuse continued. She's since been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, made a number of suicide attempts, and until she was finally moved, refused to sleep at night unless the door to her room was locked.
The girl's brother was allegedly groomed and raped by an older boy and witnessed another girl cut her wrists with the blade from a pencil sharpener. The Minister for Community Services described the alleged assaults as devastating and says the department has undertaken a full review of the care received by the children.
My view is that there have been mistakes made along the way in terms of managing the care of these children.
The Commissioner for Children and Young People, while not commenting about the case currently before the court, says shocking cases of abuse are common across Victoria's residential care system.
We bring together the most damaged, the most traumatised children and sort of put them through a funnel and they live together where their sadness impacts on each other, and we expect that to work. It doesn't work, it'll never work.
In a statement, the Department of Human Services said staff take their role in protecting children very seriously and it will act on suggestions on how to improve quality of care.
The report on the failure to care for these children has not been made public, but I understand it's sharply critical of the organisation responsible for the day-to-day care of these children. And we'll have more on that tomorrow.